Send nigwedete kama nigwedete. Ona wachi gwera wenu.
Ikibamba sana sema oh yeah. Wapi makofi ya Mr. and Mrs. Eusebio?
I've been a very, very special guest.
100% sanguine. I'm an MC. I'm an event host, a content creator.
Watu wa kamera tuko sawa. Madije tuko sawa. People tuko sawa. One more time, Mr. DJ, tuangushie hiyo kitu. Let's go.
I go by the name Jabide.
I don't even have enough words to describe her. My name is Tony Shira, and today I bring you a very, very special guest. Right now making headlines in Kenya. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. All right.
Hi.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Great, and so happy to see you. How is Kenya?
Kenya, where kuna baridi? It's cold, but things are good. Things are good.
I just didn't have enough words to introduce you. Could you kindly introduce yourself to our audience today?
Okay, sawa sawa. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I go by the name Karima Lilo, but my official names are, should I say Lily?
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
Kimemia. I'm a third born in a family of 5 children, and I'm a super active, 100% sanguine. I'm an MC, I'm an event host, I'm a radio host also, and I'm also a content creator.
That sounds like a lot of stuff. Tell me, when did you discover you had all these things, and when did they begin? I mean, you don't look like you're 30-year-old to have had all that time to discover yourself. So
I grew up acting, actually. I started acting while I was in class 3, around there. So I was mostly doing acting other than these other things that I'm currently doing. And I was very good in school. I really participated on drama festival and easy chorals, all those things. I participated in those, also in Sunday school. Well, I found out that I was a good actor mostly in Sunday school because unajua tulikuwa na competitions, and then after the competitions they would award us. Now they'd give you like who's the best actor, who's the second runners up, evo. Then I grew up later on to love dance, and I joined a group of guys where we were a dance group that was called Revolutionists. And at first I was not a part of that group, but I was with some other ladies, some sisters and friends of mine, and we were singing together as an a cappella group. And that opportunity came, and they asked, so amongst us, yani sisi hao wasichana watano, who amongst us would fit joining the guys in the dance group? And everyone said, I think Lilo ataweza, I think Lilo ako sawa. And nikaona, by the way, I think I can join these guys. And because I really loved dancing, I joined them. So later on, as like years moved on, years went by, I figured, I think I have so many things that I want to do. There are so many things that I can do. There are so many things that I'm good at. And at some point in life, they were really, really giving me a headache because I didn't know how to like coordinate all of them, where at a certain place where you're like, I was even asking God, questioning God, God, okay, what do you want with me? What do you want me to do? Whom do you want me to become?
Before you even got an answer from God on that, you are rare, because it is very, very hardly ever that people expect to see a girl from your, do I say denomination, wearing a turban, sijui mnahitaje, and coming through to do, kilemba, and coming out to dance, MC, coming out to entertain. I mean, you're now in content creation. Tell me about your religious background and how that played in the making of Karima.
Where it has been a journey. Honestly, it has been a journey coming, because when you're raised in a church whereby people have certain rules of how you're supposed to behave or how you're supposed to like live, there are so many bridges that you need to cross,
Right.
And growing up in this church, the only thing I think that was really supported was the acting part of it. But when it came to dance, it was a big problem. It was a big fight. Like them accepting that you're a dancer and them accepting that you can dance and you are going to dance. Most importantly for kanisa, it was not accepted. It was not accepted.
Right.
And tulikuwa tunaitangwa, there was a time we were called for a meeting and we were told that tutaache hiyo mambo yenye tuko nayo ya kwenda kudance dance. They didn't want. So it has been a journey, but by God's grace, I have parents who are very flexible. Like my mom was very, very much supportive when it came to hizo mambo za kudance, when it came to acting. She was very supportive, and because of her support, we were able to conquer and we were able to venture into these things.
Tell me about your parenting. Like, so how did you navigate, that space, from your parents and how they actually took it?
Well, I come from a family of 5 kids. 3 girls and 2 boys. Mimi niko hapo katikati. Kukiambiwa mtoto wa kwanza, yani when they say, okay, wale watoto wakubwa watokee, ninatokea. Wale watoto wadogo watokee, ninatokea. So I've been raised, I'm in the middle.
Right.
And inakuanga msichana kijana mimi, alafu msichana kijana. So you see, naingianga both ways.
Yeah.
So my mom and my dad, actually my dad, he passed on, but he was reserved, but he was not that strict parent. Unachekingi wale wazee wenye wanakuanga tu yani wa flexible. Like, let me tell you, our church does not allow us to wear trousers. Right. But my dad there are times my dad alikuwa anasema, kuna baridi. He would even go and buy my mom trousers, akimwambia kuna baridi avae tu juu ya baridi.
Would he wear?
Like he was so hakuwa wale wazae wenyewe. And then there was also a time when, for us when we were growing up, we never used to wear clothes without pleats. You know what pleats are?
Yeah. I know the long skirts or dresses with long pleats.
Yes.
Typically ni mafiriri.
Yes. So hatuko tunakubalishwa kuvaa nguo zenye si mafiriri.
Okay.
But one of these days my dad alienda akatushoneshea nguo si za mafiriri. Okay. And my mom was like, mbona unawashonea nguo si za mafiriri? What is this? So but anyway, them being very artistic also, I think iliwezesha kukuwa flexible, because my mom is a singer, my dad was a singer, my mom is also into arts.
Wait a moment. Do we have music from your dad or your mom that we can listen to? Like, is it available?
They have never recorded. The only time they ever did that ilikuwa ile cassette ya nyumba. Si unajua zile zenye zilikuwa za kujirecord.
The ones that we used to unwind with a big pen.
Yes. Hizo tu. But they're very good singers. And my older sister and my younger brother, they are singers also. They've done something in terms of that. They're already recording artists. So yeah, from the support of my parents, them being so artistic, I think really helped us also, so that because they were hawakuwa na hiyo kaza sana ati hatutafanya hivi.
Nice. Where was this happening? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Kiambu County, mahali kunaitwa Ngorokori, but mostly the largest part of my life is in a place called Kingero. That is where we have lived.
I know Kingero is a place that is it true? Wait, is it true that people in Kingero, when you are light a matatu, you have to run home because you're going to King Road?
No, not now. Well, I also heard those stories before.
Okay.
Oh, Miss Corner. I didn't find them, but it's a safe place. So that is where I have grown up.
All right.
Yeah. Hapo ndo mambo ilikuwa inafanyikia Kingero, but for our church we used to go to Bahati. It's in ukienda Nairobi Bahati, yeah. That is where we used to go for
the Bahati, the one Bahati in Eastlands, Nairobi?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. I know Bahati. I mean, I grew up in Jericho, so there's yeah. So mimi ni mswa mtaa. Najua hiyo.
Naona hii Nairobi.
Hata Kingero nishaikuja by the way, pale kwa PCA church.
Uko ndani?
Yeah.
Uko nini? Kamoteine?
How Kamoteine? How? There. Great. Okay, so tell me, where did you go to school, primary school, and where did you go to high school, and how was it in high school? Because I'm presuming probably in high school that's when you now really start to discover your thing.
Imagine, let me just let me say where I went to school, and then I'll tell you later. Well, I went to Parklands Primary School, but sikumalizia huko. Nilimalizia shule inaitwa Ndurarua Primary School. It's in Kingero. And then I joined a school called Kiriti Girls later on. But honestly, for me to really know that I was talented in acting, nilijulia primary. Because I started doing this while I was in class 3. By the time I was in class 5, I had already started ku represent shule kwa hizi zilikuwa zinaitwa aje, hizi chorals, sijui whatever.
From festivals or music festivals.
Nilikuwa already nishaanza ku participate kwa hizo vitu. And then there was a time one of the cleaners, at that time was a cleaner, but alikuwa anafanya kazi at a radio station, and he noticed that I was talented, and akaniambia acha ndakupeleka kwa radio uende ufanye.
A cleaner in your school noticed that you had this talent and thought they would present you to a radio station.
Yes. He really loved me. Yani alikuwa anakujanga ananiita, alikuwa ananiita kaseri negode, alikuwa ananimbianga hiyo wimbo, anakuja kaseri negode kama mimi negode. Oh na waje goira wewe.
I think I remember that song.
You know that song?
I think I remember it. I'm trying to remember who it was by.
So the guy, I don't know what he really saw in me, but alikuwa ananipenda sana, and he introduced me. Unfortunately, I was not good in Kikuyu at that time, so I didn't pass. But it was an opportunity to ata notice, wow, kumbe I can also fit on radio. Okay.
Are you good in Kikuyu now? Can you do a line in Kikuyu, like a proper line in Kikuyu, like introduce yourself in Kikuyu? Let's check your Kikuyu now.
Karibuni sana hama retwaje tagwo Karima Lilo na ninyenda mwathani ndimwiritu munyinyi utathiete miaka utari mukuru muno no. Yes, miaka ni mathogutha my god. Siwezi by the way, I can't. Kwanza mi ukinipa show ya Kikuyu, I did a Kikuyu show on Mount Kenya.
Full of madhogotha.
As long as there's money coming in. So yeah, I can. Si ati iko mbaya, but I know I can. Yes. I can try.
Okay. Yes. So you get to Shoro FM and you're not very good in Kikuyu. What happened?
They don't give me another chance. That was the first and the last, and I think I was so young. It didn't really hit me that much, and I move on with life, because si ati ni kitu nilikuwa nime envision myself. Right. So I just moved on with life, and I remember after that I just continued living, and then I joined high school. In high school I joined Izima Drama Festival clubs, and I would be part of the drama club, na pia na represent shule kwa hizo festivals. And then later on, after, there was this day while I was in Form 4. Me, I'm telling you, I don't know how God does things, by the way. Me, I'm telling you, God does things. So there's this day, guys from, walikuwa nafanya fasi simulizi and little school, and wamekuja kutufanyia hiyo maigizo and they presented the fasihi simulizi, whatever hizo vitu zao wakamaliza, and then they left school. After a while, I got a call from one guy. A part of that group, kuna chali alikuwa amekuja, nilikuwa namjua. He was from my home place. Akakuja akanicall akaniuliza, did you talk to mkubwa wao? Mkubwa wao alikuwa anajulikana kama, his name was Bosco. So he asked me, did you talk to Bosco? And I told him no. Kwa nini sijaongea naye? And then he told me, sijui mbona nakutafuta, but aliniambia umuongeleshe, shika namba yake. So me, I'm here, I'm wondering, okay, I didn't even get time to talk to this guy. Right. Why would he be looking for me? For you. I mean, I called him. So I took the number and called him. And then he told me, mmefunga shule? Tumefunga. Oh, okay. Sasa nilikuwa nataka kukuuliza, ukimaliza shule unaweza join group yetu. Wow. And I was like,
That's interesting.
What are you saying?
Had you performed during that time when they came to your school?
No. I didn't even ask a question.
Okay. I see why you're saying, the way God works, it's like miraculous.
Yeah, it was so weird. Yani, kuna vitu zingine unakanga hivi chini and you're like, hi. Because I remember I was sat, nilikuwa nimeketi mahali, and then they were acting kama pale mbele.
Right.
And I never even asked a question. That one really, hiyo ilinipata tu off guard. And then he told me, I want us to meet, we have tea together, and then we talk about all this. Sawa. We met.
After school?
Not after school, while I'm still in school.
Okay.
So we met, nikaambia mamangu nimeambiwa na mtu fulani, hata mamangu alikuwa anashindwa. Mpaka ananiambia, ukienda ujichunge sana, uje wanaume ni wabaya.
Oh man.
Because he was a man. So nikaenda. Kwa meeting, he tells me, I don't know what I saw in you, but I want you to join us. Nilikuangalia tu hivi kwa macho, nikaona, lakini naweza taka utujoin.
That's interesting.
Very. And I joined them. Wakanieka kwa watu wa Kiswahili. At that time, I didn't even know how to speak like good Swahili. Izile, ojo kieko kwa fasihi simulizi, lazima Kiswahili chako kiwe kiko sawa. Kaenda tu nikirehas, and I joined the Swahili group and I started acting. And then nikawacha, nikaingia campus after I cleared school. Now after clearing school, I joined them, but after second term, nikawacha because I wanted to join school in third term.
Right.
Nikajoin shule, nikaingia kwaya ya Moi University. Huko nakuo. So mimi niko Moi University. Nimewekwa kwaya. Nimewekwa kwa soprano. I do not sing soprano. Honestly, I don't sing soprano. But nimewekwa soprano na nikawekwa leader kwa soprano. Na ni first time yangu kujoin kwaya. Watu wanapewa certificate, napewa certificate.
Right. Wow.
I'm like, no,
that's amazing.
I did. And then I clear school. And now I remember after clearing school, I went for an attachment at a company in Westlands. And while I was in that attachment, I wanted them to employ me fully. Because I was doing so much work, and I think the services that I was offering, I really wanted them to onboard me.
Right.
Ama tu waniongeze, sema kama waongeze mshahara, vitu kama hizo. So I had told myself, if they do not accept my proposal, then nitaachana na hiyo job kabisa.
Okay.
I went, nikaongea na mdosi. I think he didn't sit well with him. After that, after they paid me, I remember ilikuwa tunaenda Pasaka. They paid me. And nikaangalia hiyo karatasi, nikaangalia hivi, nikasema, so they didn't even bother to add hata kama ni dhao moja. Then wacha tu, I quit. Nikasema mimi sasa nitakuja Monday niwaambie sitakuwa I won't be working with them from date fulani.
How much were you earning?
Tukaenda was it even nani? It was not even nani. So unajua attachment hata ukipoa dhao tatu.
So ulikuwa unapoa dhao tatu?
Hapana, nilikuwa napewa dhao 10.
Oh, right.
So nikangoja Pasaka ishe, nikakuja after Pasaka on Tuesday and I quit the job.
Okay.
After quitting the job, man, nikajikuta manze niko na mawazo mingi.
Right.
And I thought, a friend of mine was living in Mombasa. I thought, let me go to Mombasa and like unwind and just like start up life and look at and just put myself in a place whereby nitafikiria, okay, what next? What do I do? Na pia nijaribu kutafuta job Mombasa.
Right. Just like that. Did you know people in Mombasa? Did you have relatives?
I had a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, we schooled with her in Moi. Na yeye alikuwa amepata kazi huko Mombasa. So nikamuuliza, can I come and just ni unwind too.
What did you study in Moi just before we go to Mombasa?
I studied public relations. I did a diploma in PR.
And I think it's working for you. I mean, it must have helped you build your career. What you're doing right now, it must have contributed.
It did. It did. But then nilifanya degree afterwards, yeah, PR bado na mass communication. But anyway, now I'm in Mombasa now, So yeye anaenda kazi, ananiacha home. Mimi nakaa nashinda, okay, sasa naweza fanya nini? Now that is where Karima started.
Okay.
Creating content.
Right.
Nikakuwa naeka tu kamera kangu, kasimu akakuwa kazuri, nakaeka hapo, naanza kupiga story, naanza ku create content, ni kama yani nafanya na impersonate watu different.
Unatakanga unakaza kidogo. Ndio siku. Na nitaweza kupumua? Nitapumua 17.
Najifanya naongea na huyu, and that is how my journey on content creation started.
Let me ask you, by the time you decided you're going to do content, what inspired you?
This is what inspired me. I sat down and thought of the many people who are in my situation, where you feel like you have done so much, you've given so much, and you're still unhappy. Like there's so many people who are employed, but they're not happy. There's so many people who are facing challenges, but they are not happy. So I thought, why not create content that will, mtu akiwatch anasikia siku yake calm down, siku yake iko sawa, anacheka tu, anasikia manze, hata kama na go through hizi mavitu zote, there's someone I can watch na nifurahi. There's some content I can sit down and watch na nisikie manze, my day imekuwa tu, yani nimekuwa relieved from all the tension, from all the stress. So part of it was what I was going through is what really pushed me to creating content and just thinking of people, if they are going through all that na hata wako employed ama nini, why not come up with something that inaweza ondoa hizo thoughts for a moment and just have fun.
Do you mind me asking, like, what year this was when you were in Mombasa and deciding to do content creation?
It was 2014. Yeah, I think it was in 2014 ama 2013.
That's pretty early, because I think most of the content creators nowadays that we are seeing, many of them are children of the COVID lockdowns,
Yeah. God. I started way back and then I stopped. Manze, it has been a journey. It's been a journey. Yani pale penye you're doing it and then you give up along the way. You start it all over again. You get discouragements along the way. And you just, unaenda ukiacha. And the fact that I have so many talents also ilichangia sana for me to be confused. And I know when I started out, nilianza, and then people were telling me, una sound kama teacher Wanjiko, wengine wanasema, can't you be yourself? Wengine wanasema, ongea tu Kiswahili. Wengine wanasema, una copy teacher Wanjiko. I think all those voices pia zilichangia sana for me, like breaking out and just saying, wacha kwanza ni hold on. Niachane tu na hizi mambo za create content. And then, not, if you don't know what you want, and if you do not know who you are, I'm telling you, the voices that come, zitakuconfuse mpaka usikie vyema.
That's right. So, is there a platform that you were publishing whatever it is that you were creating back in 2014? what were you doing with your content? Where were you uploading it, or where was it going?
I was just uploading it on Facebook.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So I could create content with my brother and sister. So me nenda pale, we were singing. Nenda pale naongea to jokes and then we sing. Naongea to jokes and then we sing. And then we go to a place whereby these two wakakuwa hao pia wako na career zao wana chase.
Right.
Wakaniambia, so they don't like have all that time, and they're also doing their individual stuff. So also being dependent on them ilifanya pia nika, because for me honestly I can sing, yes, but sisi semati that is Kenya nimeitiwa na Maulana hapo. I would be lying.
All right. Fast forward to recently. How did you, I mean, the other day I saw like you became a sensation and you were all over the internet, people watching you and making very, very positive comments. I mean, I'm in the US and I also got to see what you had because you were really trending. You are a host, you go to weddings, you host weddings, you are a hype girl, you know.
One more time, Mr. DJ, tuangushie hiyo kitu, let's go.
I go by the name Jabide.
When did you start getting these kinds of gigs? When did you blow up into the space such that people started noticing you?
I started doing MC in 20 what? By the way, let me tell you, this is a flashback. During my wedding, I had also blown, because during my wedding...
Wait. Calm slowly. During your wedding. So, let's talk about that for a moment. You're married, you have kids, you have a family, or whatever. Tell us about your tell us about that first before we go into the rest.
Yes. So I am married. I have 2 children, 2 girls, 2 beautiful
Amazing.
girls.
I would not in the list of my thoughts would I have imagined. I just see you like a 22-year-old.
My like firstborn is 3 years old. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
My first child is 3 years old and my second baby is turning 1 this July.
What? Wow. Okay, congratulations. I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, so at your wedding, let's talk about your wedding and what happened.
So I invited some guys to come and, like hype your harusi, and they didn't show up. So the MC that I had ni wale MC wenye si wa kudance sana. So I hyped my own wedding. And it trended.
How? Tell me more about that.
I told the MC, ebu nipe mic hata jue.
Are you for real?
Hivi. Yes.
Ukatoka pale kwa nini mali mtu kuwa amewekewa, ukatoka ukadecide I'm taking over.
Nikamwambia, alafu sasa MC alikuwa ametense kidogo, akasema sawa ndakupea lakini ngojea kwanza niuli. And so akauliza, tunafanyanga kazi na MC Karima, mnaweza taka MC, watu wako It was because hakukuwa na mtu afanye hiyo kitu na kuna vile tungeboeka, so
I'm just thinking about that and I'm wondering like what was the reaction, what was your husband's reaction to that?
I think he expected, because he knows, he knew, I know he expected it. My mom ndio alikuwa zile za tabia gani? Tabia gani? Unataka tuonyesha nini?
So did you like tell your husband? Did you tell your husband, at this point I feel like I need to jump up and do this thing? Or you just
tuko hapo na yeye. We were there with him and anasikia pia watu hapa nyuma wananiambia wewe chukua mic Lilo, wewe chukua mic Lilo, wewe chukua mic, you know,
it's sounding like there's something that is missing. You need to do something.
And my brothers, they are here, my friends are here, they know I do it. So kila mtu ananisukumia tu zile za chukua mic. And then niko zile za nichukua mic. Mimi nitachukua. And I just did it.
That's really amazing. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
I
the crowd
responded. Hey, kwanza the young people, it was mad. Yani, watu walifurahi sana.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
But I think wazazi walikuwa zile za alafu niko na watu hivi na makamera, kila mtu ako na record, and it trended for a whole week.
That's amazing. Is that when now the rest of the public now started knowing about you and acknowledging your art?
People knew I existed because I was in a group of dancers. You see, now we really had so many interviews going on. Mara tumeitwa Churchill, mara tumeitwa. So there was so much going on in terms of mimi kutokea kwa macho za watu. But for the shows, fully getting into MC, yani hype MCing, it started after now I got married and I thought, I think I can do this thing. And now I ventured into it. So nikaenda tu pole gigs coming in once in doing what I get, I do it well. What I get, I do it well. So yeah, with time it has gone with even other people. You see, like there's a wedding I did for my sister's friend. And these are people who had told me, nikiolewa, when do utakuwa MC wangu? Have you ever had people who just like, they book you hata kabla hajapata chali? Yeah. Wanasema, what?
Okay.
Wewe, when do utakuwa MC wangu time ya harusi yangu? And some of the weddings I've done hizo, za watu walisema kitambo. And now when hiyo time imefika wakanipea. But I think for this one, the one that you saw, it was my sister's wedding.
Okay.
And because of how much I've grown and I've passionately like started loving this, imenifanya when I get on stage, I give my 100%.
I can tell. I mean, it's evident. It's obvious. It just blows up the space.
But sometimes I even feel like I actually watch those videos and I'm like, kwani hapa nilikuwa nimechizi nini?
I mean, art is possessive. I mean, there is a time that you get on stage and, you know, the spirit captures you and, you know, you're just not yourself. I mean, it's the art that is just playing now its thing, you know? So let me ask, how has parenting changed or affected or influenced your performance?
When I got my first child, it was, I don't think I was, okay, both of them. I don't think I was like mentally prepared.
Okay.
And because I was thinking, let me first, like, you know, build up Karima. You get, I build up Karima and then we can all get the kids and yeah. Before all this artistry kulelea, we like first build up our brands and then we can start tunaweza lea watoto. But anyway, you know, God's time is always the best. So nikapata watoto. It's when I got my second child, I remember the first month was so hard. Nilikuwa ndo nimefutwa kazi like in 2020 ama 2021 saa ikianza. Nilikuwa nimefutwa job place yenye nilikuwa nafanya kazi. And it was so hard. And I even went back to Shago.
Okay.
I went to live in Shago. But after, I remember when I was there, nilikuwa nimeenda kwa in-laws wangu.
Right.
Sa kwa mother-in-law ndio nilikuwa kwake. And I remember I used to pray so much. Nikiwa na bole mtoto wa pili. And I tell God, will you ever use my talent? Will you ever use my talent? And I remember I used to pray so much and I'd cry Nilikuwa nalia karibu kila saa. And I was called by my sister, akaniambia there is a person ambaye anakutafuta, wamesema wanakutaka sana. And nika follow up on that call, ikakuwa ninaitwa na mzazi. He's a presenter at Radio Citizen, William Tuva. Mzazi alioneshwa video zangu, akasema msichana ako hebu mlete. So akaniingiza, akaniita anikuze yani. Have you ever, like, I feel like these kids have brought blessings. As much as I was not prepared mentally, wamekuwa tu ni baraka kwangu, because it has propelled me into like wanting to grow even more, wanting to be better for them, wanting to like advance, for them to find a stable mother mentally, a stable mother financially, a stable mother physically. Yani imeneka kwa space yenye I want to grow for their sake. I want to grow. Yeah.
Is your husband in entertainment? Just to...
He's a photographer, videographer. Yeah.
Definitely a good combination, I believe.
Unajua by the way, ukiwa na mtu mwenye mko kwa the same kind of, by the way, he's also an artist in terms of anachora mavitu. He's good at that. So ukikuwa na mtu mwenye pia mko kama kind of for the same field, it's also
it's a plus.
Anakuelewa. Yeah, anakuelewa.
So do you work for a media house now?
I don't work for a media house, but niko naendanga Mseto Radio Citizen every single Saturday with Mzazi, and I'm just under Mseto, not on Citizen.
Right.
Niko tu under Mseto.
I get you. Okay. Right. So tell me, thinking about your friends and colleagues, like the people that you grew up with, is what you're doing something that they think, you know, is something anybody should be doing that's like you?
Yeah, like 100%. Unajua, I have this I've grown up with people who understand me, and people who we have like the same mindset. Wale watu wenye, like, they're always cheering me up, you know. If I have a gig, they'll be the first people to post. If I need something, they'll be the first people to support me. By the way, you see, when I came back from Ushago, my friends walichanga ninunue simu, because I didn't even have a phone ya create content. But some of my friends went out of their way, including my own sister, wakanipea pesa ninunue simu, wakasema manze Lilo, you need to like gather yourself, jua kenye unataka kufanya kani hiyo content creation. You need a phone, a good phone. Unataka phone gani? Okay, sawa, then go buy. And I started. So yeah, I have people who support me, and they believe in me, and they are like my number one cheerleader. My mother also. Let me say, my mom also is my number one cheerleader. My mom, wait.
Great. So tell me, do you have opportunities to like speak to young people? Have you had an opportunity to speak to young people? And if so, what kind of a message do you give to such, you know, that look forward to you or look up to you for that kind of inspiration?
I have had once, enye neza sema niliitwa officially. When I get a chance to talk to these young people, by the way, let me tell you, my vision as Karima is to empower those people who've been limited by, they've not been able to explore their God-given talent, ama live a purposeful life, just because wamefungwa na religion, wamefungwa na cultures, wamefungwa na doctrines. So my biggest, when I talk to them, is you need to like look beyond the church. Whatever you're doing, as long as si ati unafanya, unajua kuna vitu zingine pia utakuwa umeenda nje ya kanisa, ama nje ya word ya God, because that is what is important. But if it is not going, if it is not outside your calling, if it is not outside the will of God for you, then go for it. Fight for it. Die for it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let anything, don't let anything, discouragements will be there. People will say things. You will find people who will, throw stones at you. You'll find people who will not support you. But at the same time, there are people who are looking at you and wako zile za manze, kama huyu amemake, then hata mimi I'm very sure nitamake. So you need to also think about that person. I tell them, you need to think about that person, that other person that is looking up to you and they want to become who you are and even more.
Awesome.
Fundi.
Yes, my sister.
Wachana na nguo yangu. Kama hujashona leta kama hujashona leta nguo yangu. Nipatie nguo yangu.
Nini sasa?
Nipatie nguo.
Kwa nini unanishautia?
Ninakushautia na nimekulipa siku 3. Hapana, leta. Kwani ni nini ulikuwa unanifanyia?
Fanya hivi wewe. Rudi after dakika 5.
Wacha mimi sirudi. Nipatie nguo.
Nenda kushonea saa hii. Ndio nimeekelea kwa mashine.
What is this story about fundi wa nguo?
So I created a character anaitwa Fundi. You know me, I'm a Fundi sometimes. I switch, So this is a character that I created. It's a character of a local Fundi. Just the ordinary Fundi. I'm a Fundi tu wa mtaa. I'm not just wa mtaa, by the way. By the way, matabia za mafundi. So I thought, why not present mafundi na tabia zao? Niwakilishe mafundi wote. Mimi ndio CEO. I am the wanaitakuaje, managing director. I am the founder of all tailors. So if you are a tailor, please just first una sign contract na mimi. I give you license ya kuanza kazi if you want to enter into this industry.
That is so funny. Are you a fundi at all? Let's start there.
No. I am not a fundi. But naweza shona nguo kidogo. Si sana kidogo. And naweza designia watu manguo. Kudesign nguo ninaweza. But ukisema niende full time job for being a tailor, nitakutupa. I'm going to the lawyer.
I honestly find that so funny because I mean you bring out so much of what really happens with those fundis. Like I mean it's like they have a code of conduct that decides that fundis will not complete making clothes in the time that they've promised the person. And I mean I find that so hilarious the way you brought it out. I don't know what moved you in that direction. Why fundi and not anything else?
So you see, you hear the way I'm talking?
Yes.
I was just talking that way. Sikuwa fundi at that time. And I remember there was this day we went to see another tailor with my sister. Alikuwa anataka ashonewe nguo. So as we were seated there, namwambia sana neza create content gani? Niongelee kuhusu nini? And then this fundi anapigiwa simu. Anaanza kusema, hata kazi yenyu nitamaliza, sijui nilikuwa na kazi ingine ya harusi. And I'm like, siniaze hii mambo ya fundi. Hizi ni uongo gani hizi? Nikamwambia, fundi, yani fundi? So yetu unasema utamaliza lini juu unapea huyo mtu excuse. And I thought, good, I have found the person.
Nice.
Nikaanza kazi.
Ukakuwa fundi. Wow, that's amazing. So as we come towards the close of this interview, what is the range of the areas of interest that you focus on?
I focus on so many things. I do corporate, I do weddings, I do izoratio, I do end of year parties for corporate companies. I also do team building and I also do endorsements. Currently, I am working as a brand influencer for Limuru Cottage Hospital. And for their functions, I offer the MC services as a corporate MC. I also I've started a radio show, online, that is, on TikTok and Instagram, where it's called Zamazakale, and we just sit down, pick a story, have fun, listen to music, and at times I engage people interview people here and there, but really it's just having fun.
How do people reach you? You know, if someone wants to contact you, how do they get to you?
What you do is you go to my email, you get to my email, which is kimemialily@gmail.com. Someone can also DM me on my Instagram, which is LYLOW KARIMA, LYLOW, and then Karima, KARIMA, LYLOW KARIMA. It's on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook. If you just DM me on either of those platforms, I will get one.
What about those who are not on TikTok and Instagram?
Are they on Facebook?
Possibly.
If they're on Facebook, pia ni hivyo tu, Karima.
Anything that you would want to tell the world, the people that are listening to you right now?
So this is what I want to tell you guys. It's always good to believe and trust in God. And what I'll tell you is, please, as you live, ensure that you're living a purposeful life, that you're changing life, and that, okay, una live a purposeful life and that you're impacting life. Okay, just make whatever that God has given you, remember it is not for you, it is for someone else. So as much as you grow, remember you're growing not for yourself, but also for someone else. So in everything that we do, fanya ukiweka in mind that I'm doing this for the purpose of glorifying God and touching somebody else's life. Yes.
How else would anyone put it? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing almost 1 hour talking to Karima, and she is just as amazing in person as she is on stage. And maybe this is the next person you should be looking forward to. When you have your gigs, you have your weddings, you have your corporate events, she's outlined them. This is the next big thing for you to call when you have your thing. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, my name is Tony Shira, and this is the Tony Shira Show, and you might also be watching it on TCTV1 USA. God bless and have a beautiful day.